Hey up guys! So continuing the Venice Film Festival coverage, today's movie I'm going to be discussing on the channel is the sophomore feature of Bradley Cooper called Maestro, which is both a biopic about the late great composer Leonard Bernstein, played by Cooper himself, as well as a tender love story between Bernstein and his actress wife Felicia Montealegre, played by Carey Mulligan. There's a parallel universe where Maestro could have been made by Steven Spielberg. Oh yes, but after Steven Spielberg watched A Star Is Born, he said to Bradley Cooper that you need to direct Maestro. This is a somewhat controversial opinion, but I didn't love A Star Is Born. I liked it, but I didn't rave about it like so many people did. But I did agree with Steven Spielberg that Cooper's direction in A Star Is Born was fantastic and he showed great promise. So, while I only liked A Star Is Born, it gives me great pleasure to say that I loved Maestro. This is a wonderful movie, and Cooper once again shines both behind the camera and in front of it. Much like the subject of his film, Leonard Bernstein, who was a jack of all trades of sorts, being a conductor, a composer, a teacher, and a pianist, Bradley Cooper is also fittingly stretching and showing off his abilities as a producer, a co-writer with Josh Singer, a director, and of course, playing the maestro himself. But that's kind of what this film is getting at anyways. We aren't just one thing. Leonard Bernstein wasn't just a famous composer, okay? And Bradley Cooper certainly isn't just one thing either. Bradley Cooper, if you're watching, could you please stop hogging all the talent? Like, leave a little something for the rest of us, okay? It's only fair. Yep, this 9-time Oscar nominee is going to be adding a bunch more Oscar nominations to his tally next year, but more on that later. It is remarkable seeing the growth in Cooper's abilities as a filmmaker between his first and second feature. He's taking bigger risks with his cinematography, his shots. He's also not afraid to let a highly dramatic scene play out in one singular static shot. Like the most emotionally confrontational scene of this film between Bradley Cooper and Carey Mulligan takes place in their bedroom, and it's just one shot where you can see out the window there's this Thanksgiving Day parade and there's like a Snoopy balloon going behind, okay? It shows great confidence in both his abilities as a director and trust in his actors, which is himself and Carey Mulligan, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, he's very comfortable letting that scene just play out organically, without the need for going in for a close-up on either one's face to show just how upset they are. He also embraces the theatricality of Bernstein's work, both in the editing and, of course, with the music. Scene-to-scene transitions are sly and playful, and Cooper also peppers the film with some of Bernstein's most memorable musical work, like a swooning dance sequence to New York, New York, where we see Felicia and Leonard falling in love to a shared love of creativity and the arts. And later on in the film, when Felicia is being threatened by Leonard's extramarital homosexual affairs, the gang music from West Side Story starts playing to add a little bit of drama. In fact, Bernstein is actually credited as the film's composer. Even in death, his work still lives on, even if this is a movie about him. So yeah, Cooper is very sure of himself as a director in Maestro. There are some very well executed sequences in this film, like right at the beginning of the film where we see the 25-year-old's career take off when he receives a phone call saying that he needs to fill in for the Philharmonic Orchestra at Carnegie Hall last minute without any rehearsal time. That was the moment that he really exploded onto the scene, and this sequence has so much excitement and energy in it. And also there is a sequence towards the end of the film where Leonard is conducting an orchestra in this church, and this whole scene is glorious and cathartic. And Bradley Cooper is giving everything in the scene, both as a director and as an actor. But yeah, let's talk about those performances. I was wondering why Carey Mulligan was top billed for this film, even though this is Bradley Cooper's movie, and she's not even first alphabetically. But even though the title of this film might indicate that it's all about Bernstein, this really is a love story, okay? It's a pairing. And I'll say this, Carey Mulligan really blossoms in the second half of this film. Carey Mulligan is marvelous as Felicia. She really lives in this role and brings such a warmth to her. She really gives us layers with this performance, from vivacious and charming to anhedonic. There's lots for her to work with here. She even gets the biggest laugh of the film when she points out that she attracts a certain type of gentleman. That's the thing with Carey Mulligan as an actress. She never feels like she's showing off, okay? She never feels the need to go loud. She always plays it small and that in itself speaks volumes. Both she and Cooper have this really sweet, authentic chemistry as well, which gives the film its heart. Bradley Cooper is also sensational. His portrayal of Leonard is so loving and delicate and passionate. Bernstein was a man with an open heart. He gave so much love to the world, and he was beloved by so many, but Cooper does a wonderful job of showing how he struggled to love and accept himself. There's a lovely little scene between him and his daughter Jamie, played by Hawke, where he's addressing the rumors surrounding his sexuality to his daughter, and there's this one moment where he conveys so much without saying anything at all, okay? It is probably my favorite moment of acting from him in the whole film. And even though Felicia was very much aware of her husband's sexual rendezvous with men, the film's portrayal of the relationship is still pretty wholesome. It's a little bit too understanding and sweet. Like, there's certainly conflict and drama there, and it does come to a bubbling point at one point in the film, the Thanksgiving Day parade moment. But yeah, because Cooper is so close to the subject, it seems like he was too afraid to go a bit deeper with that drama, okay? It's all a little bit on the surface. So in that sense, the film is a little bit biopic-y in that it's afraid to show its subject with any flaws or faults. This film is very much a loving tribute to Leonard and Felicia. It doesn't want to sully their name, relationship, or legacy, so one can't help but notice that the film does lack a bit of grit. My only other negative is, like, I would have liked some resolution on Matt Bomer's character, David. He just kind of gets forgotten about. And that's only because Matt Bomer does a very good job with the very little screen time that he has to establish a loving connection between him and Leonard. So the fact that there was no resolution there, even though I know this is Leonard and Felicia's love story, I was like, oh, would have been nice to see what happened there. Oh, and that's another thing. There are so many triumphant musical moments in Maestro, but the one that takes the cake for me is the one right at the beginning of the film where Bradley Cooper plays the bongos on Matt Bomer's bare ass. Chef's kiss. Alright then, shall we talk about its Oscars chances? Because, yep, this is a film that the Academy's gonna like, alright? They love a biopic. But where's it gonna get nominated? Well, I think Bradley Cooper is gonna be looking at least 2, probably 3 nominations. The 2 that I think that he is very assured to get are for Best Actor and the Best Picture for producing. Those 2 feel like locks to me. I do think he has a good chance of getting into Best Original Screenplay along with Josh Singer, because that category is looking a little thin this year. Now, as for him for getting into Best Director, I have said that Cooper shows an incredible level of maturity with his sophomore feature here, and a Best Director nomination would be deserving, but I think this is going to be hard for him to squeeze in this year just because of how stacked Best Director is shaping up to be. He is facing some seriously stiff competition this year from the likes of Martin Scorsese, Christopher Nolan, Greta Gerwig, Celine Song, and Yorgos Lanthimos. I'm not sure there is enough space for Bradley Cooper to make it into Best Director this year. They might look at all the other nominations as enough, and also he was snubbed for A Star Is Born for directing, so they might snub him again. History does tend to repeat itself, but maybe him being snubbed for A Star Is Born might be a good thing, might work in his favor. The director's branch might actually show him some sympathy. He has paid his dues, and they respect him for that, so maybe they will throw him a nomination for Best Director. I don't know. I don't feel confident of him getting a Best Director yet. We'll have to wait and see how the race unfolds, but yeah, he is definitely on the peripheries of my nominations at the moment for Best Director, but we'll see how he goes. Carey Mulligan for Best Actress does seem quite likely. I just hope they don't go the whole She Said route and put her in supporting when she's clearly a co-lead, like she was in She Said. Let's not do that again. This very much feels like the type of performance the Academy would want to give a nomination to. The only thing that's really working against Carey Mulligan here is that she is technically playing a Latina woman, and she is a white actress, because Felicia was Chilean American, okay? So some people are getting a little up in arms that she's being played by a white woman. So depending on how that unfolds, she could miss if, you know, it's deemed as a bit too controversial. But I don't know. I think it's one of those things where they're probably going to overlook it because of just how strong Carey Mulligan's performance is. Like, it is a fantastic performance. Other nominations, I can see Matthew Liebert getting a nomination for Best Cinematography. Some of the shots in this film are just exquisitely lit. Michelle Tesoro could get a nomination for editing. I don't think she's a guarantee, but The scene-to-scene transitions in this are very slick and very well done. It's an example of like polished editing, which the Academy usually likes to go for. It could get a nomination for hair and makeup. Often when there's a transformative performance that gets nominated for, an acting Oscar, the hair and makeup that helped transform that person into said character often gets nominated as well. Look at Brendan Fraser in The Whale, or Marion Cotillard in Le Violon Rose, Meryl Streep in The Iron Lady, Jared Leto in Dallas Buyers Club. And yes, some of my people might find the nose a little offensive, but some people found the fat suit that Brendan Fraser wore in The Whale last year offensive, and that went all the way and won it, okay? Even though it's controversial, it doesn't mean it's going to hold it back from getting a nomination. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it shows up for hair and makeup, especially if Bradley Cooper gets the nomination for Best Actor. Sorry, when Bradley Cooper gets the nomination for Best Actor. At the moment, it's feeling like a race of the biopics between Coleman Domingo for Rustin, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and now Bradley Cooper for Maestro. Which one are you backing? Let me know in the comment section below. I love hearing from you guys. So let's ask them 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch it again? Absolutely. I really loved this film. I thought it was lovely. I thought it was a significant improvement on A Star Is Born, for me anyways. And I'm so impressed by how far Bradley Cooper has come in such a short space of time as a storyteller. So yeah, I would definitely watch this again. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? Yeah, I do. If you're a fan of like award season movies, then yeah, this is an absolute must watch. If you're a fan of Bradley Cooper or Carey Mulligan, then yeah, definitely go seek this one out. Okay, this has some of the strongest work to date. I don't necessarily think you need to watch it in a cinema. I certainly appreciated watching it on the big screen, but I think most people would still enjoy this just watching this from the comfort of their own home on Netflix. So yeah, give it a go. And third question, what score to give it out of 10? A terrific sophomore feature from Bradley Cooper with an excellent performance from him and Carey Mulligan, and great work across so many departments. I do wish the film had gone a little bit deeper with the drama, but I did still enjoy this movie. So I'm going to give Maestro a score of 7.5 out of 10. I was thinking, do I give it 8 or 7.5? I'm going 7.5, but that's still a really good score. But as always, guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. I do want to hear from you. Are you excited for Maestro? Have you seen it? If you have, what did you make of this film? Let me know how many Oscar nominations you think it's going to get in the comment section down below. If you guys have enjoyed this video, please help me out by hitting the little thumbs up button. It's really good for the algorithm. And if you want more movie, TV, and Oscars-related content, don't forget to click subscribe, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and the Venice Film Festival, I'm Luke Harefield, and I'll see you next time.